What's up, YouTube? Today I'll be ranking the Superman films. I am really overdue on this. I still haven't made this video, and I should have made it a while ago, back when I did the Batman ranking. But for some reason, I still haven't made this video. But finally, today I'm gonna be making it, and yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna be ranking the Superman films. I just kind of want to do something new after the X-Men series reviews, and I mean, obviously, spoilers. Like in the Deadpool thing, we see the Superman. We hear the Superman theme, and we see him trying to be Superman. So I decided it'd be a nice time to finally rank the Superman films, which I'm really overdue on. So yeah. So let's get started. With the worst Superman movie. The worst Superman movie is by far Superman 3. I know most people say Superman 4, but Superman 3, in my opinion, is just so much worse. Superman 3 is one of the worst movies of all time, in my opinion. I freaking hate this movie so much. I mean, I don't know, were they even trying with this film? They weren't even trying, it seems like. I mean, this film is just a comedic mess. There's just slapstick comedy all over the place. And yeah, it's just, the movie's just such a mess, and, there's so much stupid slapstick comedy in it. And, the plot is stupid, the villain's, freaking Richard Pryor's in this movie. What's he doing in this movie? He's so stupid in this movie. It's just, Superman, it just is a crappy character. There's obviously the evil Superman, and which is kind of stupid. But I do kind of like the fight where he has kind of the junkyard fight. I do like that. That's the only good part of the movie. But it's just the movie is just so bad, and it's just so crappy, and I mean it's stupid how that girl gets turned into that cyborg by the supercomputer at the end. This movie is just crap. I hate this movie so much. One of my least favorite movies of all time. I freaking hate it. It's boring. This movie is just everything, just so bad. Everything about this movie is just horrible. Well, besides the junkyard fight. So yeah, I hate Superman 3 so much. Next up here, we got Superman 4: The Quest for Peace. This film is crap. I mean, it's just crap. They have, horrible effects in it. This film is just terrible. But you know what? I can tolerate it. With Superman 3, I just can't tolerate it. It's just, it's so boring. It's just stupid. But with this film, I mean, it's an hour and 30 minutes long. It's an easy watch. There's some funny scenes in it, even though it's just stupid. It's just kind of funny, how bad it is. So, sometimes you can just sit down and enjoy it. That's how I kind of view it. Even, I know it's so bad, but I can kind of just sit down and, laugh at it. But with Superman 3, it's 2 hours long of just boringness and just stupidness. While this movie is just an hour and 30 minutes of dumb, just dumb stuff. And I can take this dumb stuff over the 2 hours of boringness and stupidness and slapstick, dumb slapstick comedy, that just doesn't make any sense. So yeah, Superman 4: The Quest for Peace, I can just kind of tolerate it. It's just kind of okay. And, the slapstick is not as bad as Superman 3. So, yeah, Quest for Peace is still really terrible, but, I don't, I mean, and obviously the effects are terrible, and they use, the same clip as Superman flying, but, and it's just a really crappy, low-budget Superman movie, but it's not as bad as Superman 3, but it's still really terrible. Next up here we got Man of Steel. I don't think this movie is that bad. It's okay. I mean, it has some pretty entertaining parts, and there's some parts I like about it. But it's an okay movie. I'm not a fan at all of Henry Cavill's Superman. I just really hate it. He's just not Superman. I don't like Zack Snyder's portrayal of it. Yeah, my biggest problem with this movie is just Superman himself. Superman is just not Superman in this movie. And I think they really need to fix up his character in the next few DC films, because, he's just so bleak and depressing and, just nothing in these new films. He just has no personality. He's just really depressing and, just bleak, and, downbeat. So, yeah, I just hate Superman himself in these, in Man of Steel. But, I mean, it still has some pretty nice action. It's pretty entertaining at some points, and there's scenes here and there that I just enjoy watching, and yeah. So Man of Steel isn't bad. It's just an okay movie. Next up here we got Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. The reason I have this over Man of Steel, I mean, they're pretty tied, but the reason I have this over Man of Steel is because freaking Ben Affleck does an amazing job as Bruce Wayne slash Batman. So amazing in this movie. He just does a great performance. And I think Batman is just so great in Batman v Superman. Even though he does kill, I mean, he's just so great. He just really feels like Batman. So yeah, Batman v Superman, like Man of Steel, it's okay. But I still think that the action is better than in Man of Steel, and I think Batman v Superman just like touches a few things up for Man of Steel. And yeah, Batman v Superman it has some pretty nice action and has some pretty nice scenes, but I think it can be a little bit slow at some parts, and I think that's partially due to it being such a long film. But it's an okay movie. It still has freaking Batman, who's amazing in the movie. So yeah, Batman v Superman, like Man of Steel, is okay. At number 3 here we have Superman Returns. I actually like Superman Returns. I think this is an underrated film. No one really talks about this film that much, but I actually like it. Sure, it's not like amazing and not like as amazing as the first two Superman films, but I still think it's a pretty good movie. I mean, I think Brandon Routh gives a fine performance as Superman. I think he does fine. I like how he's more like hopeful and like not as depressing as Henry Cavill's Superman. And I think the soundtrack of this movie is great. I love how they brought back the original Superman theme. That was great. And yeah, I think John Ottman does a fantastic job in this movie. But yeah, I think it has some pretty nice scenes, some pretty nice action scenes. I like the plane scene. I mean, I think the plane scene is fantastic. It's just really well done, and yeah, the plane scene is just pretty nice. So yeah, overall, this movie, I mean, I do like the the kind of Lois Lane Superman thing. I think that was a cool touch to the movie. And yeah, I think overall, I mean, sure, it's not like amazing, and there could have been things that, I mean, they could have really touched up on a lot of things and made it more interesting. But I still think overall it's a pretty good movie. I mean, I don't think it's that bad. I think it's pretty good. So yeah, Superman Returns. I think it's a pretty good movie. At number 2, we have Superman 2. I think Superman 2 is a really great movie. I mean, it's just a really awesome movie. I mean, it just has a lot of awesome scenes in it. I mean, I think the story is pretty great. Yeah, and it just has some pretty awesome scenes. Like, I like, yeah, the ending where Superman, like, turns Zod and everything, like, obviously takes away their powers, and then he like, kind of, like, handshakes, like, Zod, and then, like, crushes his hand, and, like, that scene's just really awesome. I love that scene so much. But, yeah, I think Superman 2 is amazing. I mean, it's a great movie. It's a great follow-up to the original Superman. And yeah, I don't know what there is much to say about it. I just think it's a pretty good movie. Yeah, it's just a pretty great movie. So, yeah, Superman 2 is a pretty great movie. At number 1 here we have the original Superman movie, Superman the movie. And yes, this movie is so amazing. Like this movie is just so great. I don't even know what there is to say about it. Like, it's just the original Superman, and obviously Christopher Reeve, fantastic as Superman. He will always be the best. No one will ever come close to Christopher Reeve. Christopher Reeve will always be the best. So yeah, the original Superman movie is pretty great. I mean, it just has like so many awesome scenes in it, and like, yeah, I just love everyone's like reaction to Superman being this guy, and I love his origin story, and it just has so many amazing scenes. The soundtrack, amazing. Movie is just really, really, really amazing. So yeah, Superman the movie is just as I said, it's amazing. So that is my ranking of the Superman films. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Yeah, I know I was kind of overdoing this, and I'm sorry about that, but, yeah, that's my ranking of the Superman films. I hope you enjoyed it, and, see you next time.